Okay, hello everyone. So today we are going to look into chapter 2 of our literature reader. The name of the chapter is Let's Go Home. Okay, so as you all know, the MBSC has put out a notice and it has omitted some chapters from our books. So the first chapter, The Night We Won the Buick, has been omitted. So we are going to move on to chapter 2, Let's Go Home. Okay, so first of all, I want you to put your textbooks ready with you. I want you to open your textbooks. I want you to be ready with them and turn the pages and read them along as I read the passages and I explain. For those of you who do not have the textbooks, I will be posting a photocopy of the text as I explain. Please follow me along. Please read them along in your mind as we read the passages. Okay, uh, let's go home. Where are we going home from? Who are we going home to? Okay, for some of us, it might mean going home from school. For some of us, it might mean going home from work. For some of us, it might mean going home from a long journey, right? So, do you like home? First of all, we all like home, right? It is where we live, and uh, we miss our families. Everyone misses their families. When we go out, we miss our mothers, we miss our fathers, we miss our brothers and sisters, and uh, it's quite enjoyable, refreshing, and relaxing to go home after a hard day's work, right? Okay, so first of all, we are going to read the words in the sentence which has been written in which has been printed in italics. It's just below the heading of the chapter. It's the introductory paragraph. Okay, so are you ready with your books? I am going to read it out, so please follow me along as I read out the introductory paragraph. Okay. Like every child, the child in the story loves his mother dearly and looks forward to spending time with her. But what happens when he goes home after school? Okay, so like every child, like every boy and girl, the boy in our the boy in our lesson misses his mother very much, and he is very eager to go home to her after a long day of school. Okay, so uh, this sentence has been written in italics. Okay, first of all, what are italics? Italics, when you look at the word written in italics, if you look at the book, you will see that the fonts of the you will see that the fonts of the sentence are a little bit slanting. Okay, right. It's a little bit different from how it is printed compared to the other passages, right? So that is italics. Okay, so the child, he is eager to go home after school because he misses his mother so much. Do you miss your families? I remember while I was a kid, when I was your age. No, I was a little bit younger than your age. It was class 7, I think so. We used to miss home so much. Every day after school, we would rush home. We would change our uniforms. We would help our parents out with the housework and everything. And after that, we would play. We would draw, and we would do all sort. We would do many things in our free time. Okay, so mm, I still remember while I was a kid. Every Friday we used to have this weekly test, and after the weekly test we would rush home, and we would try to watch the show that used to be put out at 2:30 on an Indonesian channel in TV, and it was something like the Power Rangers. You all know who the Power Rangers are, right? They are a group of superheroes. They are dressed in white, blue, red, and other colors, and the show was something like the Power Rangers, but they all spoke in Indonesian, so we did not understand anything, but we were so eager to watch it, right? Okay, so we would rush home on Fridays. We would change our uniforms. We would watch the show first, and after that, we would help our parents out, help our brothers and sisters out, and After that, we would have time to relax. Okay, so home, everyone missed home. Everyone was always eager to go home from school. Okay, so let's go back to the story. He misses his mother and looks forward to spending time with her. He wants to go home as fast as he can to meet his mother at home. But what happens when he goes home after school? Okay, the story tells us that something has happened, but what happens? Maybe he has met an accident. Maybe he fell into a ditch when he went home. We don't know yet. We are going to look into the story and follow me along as I read the first passage. Okay, let's start. It started when they were going to school in the school bus. Someone started to talk about marbles, and he was always so interested in marbles that as he listened, he began to forget. At first, only a little. But as the fervor of the discussion increased, he joined in the talk, and it was then that he forgot completely. Okay, so they were going to school. He was waiting for the school bus on the way to school, and then he boarded the bus and he met his friends inside. Okay, so on the way to school, one of the friends started talking about marbles. So, like all boys, they played marbles. Okay, most of the boys play marbles. Many of you will have played marbles. Some of you might be playing now too. Okay, so mm, they began to be very enthusiastic in the discussion. Okay, they started joining each other in the talk, and soon everyone in the bus was talking about marbles. Okay, what kind of marbles they had, and and then as the discussion continued, there was something very important, it seems, that he forgot. What was it that he forgot? What did he forget? So the fervor of the discussion continued. What is fervor? Okay, let's look into the book again. There is a meaning written. Fervor means strong feelings. Okay, so uh, they began to be so lost in the discussion of marbles that he began to forget something completely. Okay, what was it that he forgot? We do not know now. We'll find it out later on. And at first, he forgot it a little bit. Then afterwards, he forgot it completely. And he suddenly remembered that he had forgotten that important thing. What? How could have he forgotten it like that? So he did not know. He thought to himself, how could I forget that? I'm too foolish. So important. How could I have forgotten that? So, and he thought to himself, people used to say that he was too sensitive, meaning uh, he was easily offended or upset. He used to get very emotional. Okay, that boy in our story, he used to get very emotional. He used to get upset very easily, and his friends used to tell him, you should try to improve a little bit. You get upset so easily, and he was also too absent-minded. They say, okay, what is absent-mindedness? Okay, I'm going to add a little bit in Mizo, one word only, hayhot. Okay, so absent-mindedness means tending to forget things easily, right? So how many of you are absent-minded? Do you forget things easily in your home, right? Do you hold do you hold your wallets, your purses, and search for them? Do you hold your spectacles in your hand, your glasses in your hand, and do you search for them? Right? Forgetting things easily. Some people are like that. Okay, so his friends used to call him, you are too absent minded. You are too sensitive. You should try to improve a little bit. And he thought, oh, my friends used to say that I'm too absent minded. Maybe that is why I forgot that thing. Okay, so what was it that he forgot? We'll learn about it. Let us move to the next passage. The bus rolled in through the gates and crunched on the gravel. It was always the familiar crunch that told him they were in. They broke up and jumped out with their bags and boxes, and outside, as he stood waiting for the rest to come down, the morning air felt good and smelled cool, clean and fresh, and the birds were chirping in the row of trees that ran along the gravel way. When the last boy was out, the bus rolled out of the gates again and they crunched along the gravel towards the stone entry porch. Okay, so uh, the bus rolled into the gates and crunched on the gravel, so they reached school. The bus reached school, and they hopped out of the bus into and they carried their bags and they met their friends. And the boy stood near the bus waiting for the rest of the boys to come down, and the morning was cool and fresh and refreshing, and it was clean. The birds were chirping. The birds were, do you know how the bird sounds, right? The bird chirps. Pigs grunt, dogs bark, cats meow, and tigers roar like that. Birds chirp. Okay, so the birds were chirping here and there, and a light breeze was blowing, a very cool wind was blowing, and the morning air was quite refreshing and relaxing. And he and his friends, they walked to the school, and the bus, after dropping all the students, began to turn and go and fetch more students. Okay, so uh, gravel is being described here. Okay, a gravel path. Okay, what is a gravel path? A gravel path is something like small stones that are placed to form a pathway. Okay, so it's not metal road. It's not a metal road. It's not a tarmac road. Okay, so small rough stones are being placed to form a pathway for people and vehicles, and so that is a gravel path. Okay, small stones being put to form a path. Okay, so mm, the bus went back to go and fetch more students, and as it rolled on the gravel path, the bus made some crunching sounds. Okay, some sounds because the path was not so smooth. Okay. Okay, so I have downloaded an image and I have put it for you on display, and this is a gravel path. Okay, so as you can see, the road is not so smooth. It's made up of small stones being placed together, right? They pour stones to form a road. So people do this because it's more economic, because it saves more money. If you construct a road using tar, what tar is called, you call it alcatra, and uh, if you construct what we call a metal road, a smooth road of tarmac road, it costs a lot of money. So people use and people construct gravel paths to save more money because it's more easier and it's more cheaper. Okay, this is a gravel path. Okay, we shall start with the next paragraph. uh, Okay, so let's read on. I want you all to look into your textbooks. Let's start the paragraph. As they went in, someone observed, "Why, today's Saturday. I always like Saturday because the next day is Sunday, don't you?" He answered, "Yes," he thought. "Saturday, no day like it." Even class on Saturday was not as bad as on other days, and everyone, including the teacher, seemed happier with the prospect of the evening and the morrow. So, as they were going to the class, one of their friends spoke out, "Why, do you realize today is Saturday?" And they were all so excited because they had many plans for the weekend. Some of them were planning to go playing with their friends, to go shopping, to do all sorts of things. And one thing we notice here is they are going to school on a Saturday, right? And if we look at ourselves, we don't usually go to school on Saturdays unless it is some special occasion, right? You might not have known this, but you should know that many schools and colleges out there, not in our hometown, in some other places, especially in many places of India, they go to schools on Saturdays. Mm. When we were studying in Shillong, doing our degree courses, we used to go to school. We used to go to college on Saturdays too. So in this story too, the boys were going to school on Saturday. So it was the last day of school for the week, and the next day, Sunday, was going to be a holiday for them, and they were all so excited. They had many plans, they had many things to do in mind. You all are also very eager to go home after school on Fridays, we notice. And so sometimes even the teachers also, after a week's hard work, uh, were also very excited to go home and enjoy the weekend as they wished. So everyone was in a good mood on Saturdays. Everyone was quite happy and looking forward to the weekend when it came to Saturday. Okay, we shall look into the next paragraph of the chapter. Please get your textbooks ready. Follow me along as I read. For him, it was mainly the evenings and fun at home with his mother. He had lost his father. On the other days, there was always homework to do and dinner to prepare. But on Saturday, they both were free. He did only a little of the homework, and his mother finished cooking early. Saturday evening meant a lot to him. And then there was, of course, the matinee on Sunday, about the only excitement of a rather quiet day. And the little boy was always so eager on Saturday to go home to his mother, because Saturday was unlike any other day. They had only a little homework, and the weekend was waiting for him. So he went home as fast as he could. He met his mother, he finished his homework, and he and his mother finished the cooking early. He would help her out in the house, also doing all sorts of work that he could, and then he would spend time with her. He liked being with his mother. He was always so eager to go home to her, especially on a Saturday evening. And on Sundays, they had nothing much to do, no work was to be done. He had no more homework, and so it was quite free. The only thing they did regularly on Sundays was they used to go to the matinee. Okay, so what is a matinee? As it is shown here, a matinee is a cinema which is usually shown in the afternoon show. Okay, so he and his mother used to go to the matinee to watch movies on Sundays, and they would spend quality time together there.